Last night there was a violent clash between protesters at the student encampment involving individuals from both sides. For sure it's just one side throwing the fireworks and bear spray and stuff. Clash. I meant like one side was attacking like the other was getting injured. Indeed, injuries occurred at this clash between protesters. Yeah, like one group got attacked and injured by another group. Yes, but they low-key clashed. I feel like that's not the best word. It was during the encampment quiet hours that they got attacked. A silent clash between two sides.
What your boycott says about you. If you're boycotting vaping, I just genuinely think you're one of the best kind of people, because I just feel like you truly educate yourself and understand what's going on for the world, because boycotting vaping is directly helping Congolese people. Along with this, if you're boycotting gold, that helps the Sudanese, and I just feel like anyone who centers Africans, especially Black African countries, I just feel like you really are for the causes that you claim to support. You know what I mean? It's not performative, it's not conditional. Okay, so I'm gonna have to make a separate video talking about which artist to boycott or whatnot, if anyone's interested in that, because I feel like this is gonna take too long to explain. Controversial opinion, but at this point, if you boycott Starbucks, I'm just like not impressed and not amused. It doesn't feel authentic or genuine, because a lot of the times what I see is people like mass harassing, bullying, and like telling people to like boycott Starbucks. So at this point, I feel like a lot of people know to either one, drink it in secrecy, or they've been pressured to do it and it's not genuine. If you boycott Coca-Cola, I'm pretty impressed, because a lot of people don't understand this boycott or understand the direct harm that Coca-Cola does to the environment. Let me know if I should make a part 2. Also, disclaimer, I know everyone has different needs, wants, and requirements, and different places they boycott. Boycotts are individual, and obviously they're important when we do it in groups, but I don't encourage any boycotts that the BDS doesn't encourage, because that's not my job. These are all individual decisions that I make for myself or that others make for themselves. So make your decisions and move accordingly, but know that I'm not trying to guilt or shame anybody to do anything they don't want to.
I can't get enough. Back with another meal. Help! Help! Help me! Help!
Hi guys. Whoa, Kit, you look so good. Oh my god, you look so much better. Are you feeling better? How are you doing? Today's like a medium symptom day, not too bad, so I thought I'd still make an appearance and, you know, say hi to everybody at least. You know, one thing that never made sense to me, how is it that you say that you're in so much pain and nauseous and don't feel good all the time, but you still get so dressed up? I see. You see, I'm a master of illusion, so this is actually 4-day-old greasy ass hair that I couldn't figure out how to get to look cute any other way. Balance that out with a pair of really lightweight earrings, and I look somewhat decent put together. And I chose a dress today because I was throwing up all morning, and the idea of having quite literally anything around my midsection, no. So free and flowy for me today. You know, if you weren't using a cane, you would never tell by looking at you that you have a chronic illness. It's funny you say that. It's actually an invisible illness. To most people, just looking at me day to day, you wouldn't be able to tell that I'm disabled, but I am, and it's just not really present visually, so yeah. I don't know, it's just interesting, because for me, when I have headaches or I'm not feeling good, you would not catch me dead, getting all dressed up and looking nice. Like, I'm gonna be in my pajamas, sweats, like, I'm not doing all of that while I'm not feeling good. So it's interesting that you say you're in so much pain and yet you're still able to do these things. Well, the thing about chronic illnesses is that they are chronic. So we deal with this kind of pain every day. And as a result, our pain tolerance ends up changing. We end up having to just grin and bear it and get through it. And, you know, if I'm being quite honest, if I live every single day holed up in pain, and I don't do anything to make myself feel good or to make myself feel confident and pretty and just to do something nice, you know, like getting dressed up a little bit, it kind of, I don't know, it makes life really boring and stale and dull. Like, I don't want to live in sweats for the rest of my life. You know, I want to be able to have fun and do cool things too, just in a way that's accommodated for me. Not only that, but I've been dealing with this pain like literally every day of my life. So if I'm having a medium symptom day like I am today, it's not going to really debilitate me as much because I'm so used to it. Like, if I have a really bad flare day, yeah, you wouldn't catch me doing all of this because those suck. But pretty much every day I'm at least, at a minimum, 5 out of 10 pain. And that's at like my lowest. So after a while, you get used to it.
I'm a Jewish doctor. I've been to Gaza. I saw what Israel had been doing in violation of all international law and human rights to Gaza for 16 years before I went there.
Let's go upstairs and chant, free, free the American hostages that were taken by the savages that attacked Israel and committed war crimes on October 7th.
Israel has killed 30,000 people. Is that not savage, sir? You're supporting genocide. There's a place for you in The Hague.
The sluttiest thing a man can do right now is wear a shirt with just a little bit of crop. So
whatever gay people are wearing right now is what straight dudes are going to be wearing in 2 to 4 years. And this is a cycle that we just keep seeing happening again and again. Because when queer people wear styles like makeup, dangly earrings, pearl necklaces, crop tops, booty shorts, we are mocked, assaulted, abused, or called the F word from a passing car. And then those niche styles are commercialized and presented as something new and novel and cool. And all the original context is stripped away. And then straight dudes wear it thinking that they single-handedly discovered it, when in fact queer people have been wearing those items for ages, but when we wear them, we're in physical danger. But when straight guys wear it, they're just being slutty. And stop calling yourself slutty, because as a gay person, you have no idea what slutty is. Truly no idea.
Donald Trump is a white supremacist. Full stop. If you vote for him again, you're a white supremacist. Full stop.
Chances are you've probably been told to steer clear of MSG, that it's a dangerous substance that can make you sick and give you headaches. But the attack on MSG in America was a racist farce. The truth is, MSG isn't harmful or unhealthy, and it naturally exists in a lot of the foods we eat every day, like tomatoes and Parmesan cheese. Monosodium glutamate, or MSG, is the salt form of an amino acid our bodies make, and when turned into a powder, can add a nice umami flavor to your food. But in 1968, a man wrote a letter to the New England Journal of Medicine claiming he experienced sickness and numbness after eating at Chinese restaurants, and he asked other doctors to confirm if they had any data on the topic. A lot of doctors wrote back, and gradually botched study after botched study was conducted with obvious scientific holes, claiming to have found evidence that MSG was poisonous. And while some scientists did poke holes in these studies, the media ran with the salacious stories of a scary foreign powder Chinese restaurants were sneaking into your food. And thanks to already existing propaganda America had been spreading about Chinese people and their food since the 1800s, people were more than happy to believe that Chinese food was dangerous. Today, MSG is used in Chick-fil-A sandwiches, Popeyes, canned soups. It's in soy sauce, Italian food, countless others. But the questions and concerns about MSG are still only directed at Chinese establishments.
This is a list of 5 whack encounters that I've had with medical professionals. Now, I've been living with a chronic disability for my entire life, so there's a lot to choose from here. Let's jump into it. Number 1, I once woke up from a 7-hour back surgery, missing my 2 front teeth. When I asked my doctor about it, he said, "You got a small mouth. It was hard to stick that tube in there." Thanks, doc. Number 2, and this was before I had any social media presence at all, I was once admitted to the ICU, and shortly after I met one of my ICU nurses, she followed me on Instagram. I still had a breathing tube down my neck at this point. I didn't know if that was a HIPAA violation or just a plain party foul, but it felt weird. Number 3 on the list, I once got rushed to the hospital in an ambulance. And when I got there, I told my doctor I'm having a bit of a panic attack about all this. And he said, yeah, no problem. We'll get you some medicine for that, don't worry. Also, if your heart were to stop, who should we call? I don't know, doc. I'm just brainstorming, but I feel like we could have picked a better time to bring that one up. Number 4, and this happened when I was a baby, but my parents saw that I was taking my sweet time with the whole first steps thing. So they took me to a doctor, and the first doctor that saw me told them not to worry. I'm just a late bloomer. 26 years later, and I'm still blooming. Last but not least, and this one still haunts me daily, but my kindergarten nurse once accidentally locked me in the bathroom, and we had to call the paramedics to free me. So I'm still a little scared to use the old toilet.
Did you know the Congo produces more than 60% of the world's supply of cobalt? And that there are an estimated 40,000 children enslaved to mine it? It's your favorite land back baddie, and let's talk about how we get our smartphones. It's currently estimated that about 255,000 Congolese people are forced to work the mines of the country's copper belt. The conditions they work in are inhumane and have terrible health effects. Thousands die a year due to exposure to deadly materials. And the pursuit for these resources goes well beyond a single mine. Mineral extraction fuels the violence erupting throughout the DRC as armed groups compete for control and land access. Rebel militias that are backed by US interest terrorize communities into leaving their homes. The vacated communities are then destroyed and turned into industrial mines. And recently, a US federal appeals court refused to hold 5 major tech companies liable over their use of child labor in the cobalt mining operations throughout the Congo. Ultimately, the country is being completely destabilized, with millions displaced and thousands enslaved so that we can have our smartphones.
Some of us, I don't want to name names, make pretty bad throat noises when they drink. And it makes me think that the throat is
me?
No.
Is it me?
It's not Travis.
How much did you pay for your first house?
That's a long, long time ago. $268.
According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, housing inflation has steadily increased since 2022, but what could happen in the future?
For the average everyday people, the era of homeownership, it's dead. The hurdles that people have to jump through. At this point, I think in 10 years, we will have almost exclusively renters.
My husband and I got a notice yesterday that our mortgage payment is going up almost $200.
I just got our rent renewal and it's going up by $300 a month.
I went to go pay my rent today and it increased by $400. I could barely afford my rent before.
My rent is going up an extra $800 a month. If this rental crisis wasn't already hell, it's about to get a whole lot worse.
We will never have affordable housing in this country again because people have built their wealth on real estate. We're all being taught to build wealth through real estate, but that directly leads to the housing crisis that we've been at for over a decade. People will need to lose their investments, lose value in the homes in order for us to have affordable housing.
Because it's creating essentially multiple generations of forever renters, but it's also locking people out of the most direct way for them to build generational wealth. Roughly 44% of the houses, single-family houses purchased last year were purchased by private equity firms. Single-family homes should be owned by families. And the fact that we are allowing industry to hoard a necessary resource during a crisis in that resource is absolutely unacceptable.
We have entire generations of people that are saying that they cannot afford homes, they cannot afford their basic needs. We have an entire generation of people that are not having children because they cannot afford them. The American dream has been dead and buried.
Owning a house is the American dream, right? It means you actually have some skin in the game. Is it still considered the definition of success to say that you own your own home? People are realizing I can either continue renting or I can continue to just live a life where I'm not beholden to anyone.
And I do believe we are starting to see this gradually happen as we become more of a renter's nation. That to me is one of my greatest fears, because if you own nothing, you have no say. You have no voice. You don't have any opportunity to change anything in your life. I don't think I've ever felt more unsettled than when I saw the video in 2016 from the World Economic Forum saying that you will own nothing and be happy about it.
Honest question, genuine question. Why don't leftists care about masking? Why aren't supposed radical, socially conscious people, why aren't they masking? Like, we're in a full-on pandemic raging, disabling hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions. We care about liberation, but not for the disabled. I genuinely do not understand the dissonance. We claim to care about communal safety, but like not about community when it comes to a virus that's spreading and acts like HIV in a lot of ways. COVID, it's a damaging virus. It's truly a damaging virus. And the denial and the passivity of leftist people in masking, I can't grasp it, man. Our government has lied to us about everything, but they haven't withheld things about COVID. Like COVID's the thing that we can trust them on. I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss. I just don't get it.